All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now. Here's a text message in from Texas. Whoop.
You should run for the McHugh seat.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Texan, but this is a race for the professionals, and in fact, they're already writing about it in all sorts of national publications, and this is where I guess if you follow news, this is where the internet really shines. Is these things break? They're reacted to. Everything's done in real time. And the idea of a morning paper coming out the next day saying McHugh named Army Secretary, that's, by then everybody's already discounted the news that he's Army Secretary. By tomorrow morning, people will be already organizing their election campaigns. Everything's done in real time now, and it is different. Already they're writing, here's a report in some national thing called TPM DC. I don't know what it is, but they're already talking about a special election in New York. They've got the fact that President Obama carried our congressional district by 5 percentage points. It's a they just go on to talk about it here, and I don't know who. They talk about Senator Albertine. A Democratic source in Albany says the best potential Dem candidate, State Senator Albertine, the man who picked up the state Senate seat, could face pressure not to run for Congress. If he were to win, this would place his Senate seat up for grabs. That's true. I don't think. And a late update, Albertine spokesman Drew Mangione. Remember, he used to be at the Watertown Daily Times. It's too early to comment, said Mr. Mangione, but the senator is committed to his work in the New York State Senate. It really is too early to. Why would you even say anything at this point? Let the dust settle a little bit and think it through. It's a very temperate statement on part of Mr. Mangione. So already the national media is talking about this in terms of national terms. Will the Democrats go after the seat? Or are they content to say, let it stay where it is, and it'll be eliminated through redistricting anyway in 2011? So that's kind of interesting. Now, here's another link. And again, these are different articles. You got to remember the fact the Republican Party normally would win this district, but the Republican Party is in tatters up here. They can't effectively run candidates for county clerk at the moment. And even stage an announcement for it. On a congressional level, it's going to be difficult, especially if big money comes in here. Now, the media outlets, I got to say, Dave Mance, or not Mance, but Dave Males, Persick, those people are, and our own boss, are happy because they see big political money coming into the district this year for this race, for advertising. But can the Republicans, if they can't hold on to this seat, they may want to just, retreat to south of the Mason-Dixon line, because it means they're totally non-competitive in the Northeast. Good afternoon, Hotline.
Hey, it's Crazy Ray.
Crazy Ray in the Bay, how are you?
Good. Isn't it losing one more good person out of the state, though? That's kind of a sad thing.
Well, will he keep his house in...
One really good worker for us.
He doesn't have to keep that house in Pierpont Manor anymore. He can actually just grab a place in Georgetown or in Alexandria, Virginia.
I love it that he lives here, too, but, he's a really good worker for our state.
Guy, yeah.
And another good worker.
He's always very friendly.
Yeah.
What's he do with his war chest now? He's got a ton of money in a war chest for re-election. Wonder where all that goes.
Yeah.
Because he's done politically. He's not going to run for anything again. Like I said, he was in a dead-end position with redistricting coming up. And, plus he's been in elected office for a while. This is a capstone to his career type thing. And
that just makes me sad. We've had a lot of really good people that, worked really hard for our state lately. They're just one right after another. They're just gone to some other job, so.
Yeah. Well.
Maybe it is time for you to move up and go for it.
Thanks for your kind words. But this is going to be decided by folks. The decision on who the Democratic nominee will not be made by Ted Ford or something. It'll be made by Nancy Pelosi and other high-ranking people, along with money people. And the same is true on the Republican side. If the Republicans do what they did in the Gillibrand district recently, where they go and nominate an old political hack from Albany who didn't even live in the district, if they pull a stunt like that, I think they could lose it. But if they've got somebody who's got some North Country panache, if you will, they should be able to win it. But it is difficult running across 11 counties, and in which anybody you pick is going to be not known in at least 8 of the 11 counties, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Anybody from the eastern half of the district who thinks about running is going to be dead in the water over here, and vice versa. So people are parochial. They will vote their best interests, and I've always sort of rued the day when we lose Congressman McHugh, because he was such a Watertown native who had an affinity towards Fort Drum and so on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Losing him, I mean, you're not going to trade out for an congressman of equal value in the future, no matter who you get, and it may be a decent person. So I was always worried about that, and I saw that coming in 2012, and the president's nomination to Army Secretary brings that into a clearer focus right here and now. So, I mean, there's a lot congressionally. I mean, I think nationally this is good for Fort Drum and Watertown having McHugh in that position, but from a congressional representation standpoint, you don't know. Plus, with this new Democratic majority in Washington, do you want to have a Democrat representing you? I don't know.
I have no problem with what party you have, because,
I don't either, but,
right.
Parties don't mean a lot to you and I. We just sort of live our lives, but in Washington it does. I mean, if you walk in as a new member of Congress, bobbing your head and smiling, and you run into Nancy Pelosi in the hallway, what party you are is going to determine how she responds to you. She may just walk right by you if you're a Republican. And
party, I wouldn't even ever consider voting for her. I don't like.
Well, that's the dilemma. We look at this election coming up, and we say, well, so-and-so seems like a nice person. Darrell Albertine seems like a nice person, and he is one of us and all of that. But on the other hand, when you're voting for him, you're voting for Nancy Pelosi. And that's a more disturbing scenario.
How could our president say that Iran really needs to be considered, that they really do have problems with their infrastructure and stuff, that they should be allowed to have uranium and process it? That's just crazy.
Yeah.
You have all the oil in the world, all the gas in the world.
I'll ask Governor Palin about this Saturday what she has to say.
That would be a good thing to ask what's going on, because
who do you think should be our congressman, Governor? They only have one congressman in Alaska.
Yeah.
And we have 29 in this state, and of course there's like 52 of them in California. But there was at one time we had 45 members of Congress here in New York State. We're down to 29 and about to drop to 27.
Yeah, I think we're losing. I mean, I'm glad for them, but
Yeah, we're definitely losing it. How do I know all this stuff?
Because you're up on it.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You can read, man.
Thank you. All righty. Bye now. Good afternoon.